After Jesus finished saying this, he looked up to heaven and said,
Father, the hour has come. Give glory to your Son, so that the Son may give glory to you. For you gave him authority over all people, so that he might give eternal life to all those you gave him. And eternal life means to know you, the only true God, and to know Jesus Christ, whom you sent. I have shown your glory on earth. I have finished the work you gave me to do. Father, give me glory in your presence now, the same glory I had with you before the world was made. I have made you known to those you gave me out of the world. They belong to you, and you gave them to me. They have obeyed your word, and now they know that everything you gave me comes from you. I gave them the message that you gave me, and they received it. They know that it is true that I came from you, and they believe that you sent me. I pray for them. I do not pray for the world, but for those you gave me, for they belong to you. All I have is yours, and all you have is mine, and my glory is shown through them. And now I am coming to you.
I'm out here in the backyard on a very windy day. I think it's appropriate because we're at a point in Jesus' life when the winds of hate and the winds of love and the winds of human destiny are blowing at gale force. Now let's focus on Jesus' prayer in John chapter 17. I want to give you some context and observe some structure in this prayer. First, where and when did Jesus pray this prayer? Well, John 18 indicates that Jesus and his disciples didn't cross the Kidron Valley until after the prayer. So the prayer must have taken place in Jerusalem and most likely in the same room as the Passover supper and the foot washing. We might wonder why John, on the one hand, and Matthew, Mark, and Luke, on the other hand, record two different prayers that night. Matthew, Mark, and Luke record the Gethsemane prayer after crossing the Kidron Valley. Father, remove this cup from me. That prayer, that we all know so well. John does not record that prayer. He probably knew the other three gospel writers already covered it. Check out your harmony of the Gospels. You'll see that John doesn't cover that prayer. Instead, he covers John 17, a prayer that the other gospel writers don't touch. Maybe John was the only one who heard the prayer in John 17. Recall something, that John did lean his head onto the chest of Jesus during the Passover dinner. He definitely could hear a quiet prayer that no one else heard. Here's another issue relating to when Jesus prayed John 17. We're repeatedly told in the first half of John's Gospel that Jesus' climactic hour had not yet come. For instance, you'll see that in John 2:4, 7:6, 7:8, 7:30, and 8:20. But once we arrive at Jesus' last week in John chapter 12, we're then repeatedly told that his hour had come, the hour of glorification. You could see it in John 12:23 and all the way up to John 13:31. Jesus knows his hour of destiny has come, but he does not consider his destiny to be in the bag. It's a time to pray. The thoughts of Jesus' prayer are organized into 4 parts. Verses 1 through 5 contain the first part. Jesus prays for himself and for his own glorification. The glory of God is a strong theme in the entire Gospel of John, mentioned 33 times, far more than in any other gospel. Jesus mentions glory 8 times in John 17 alone. He's not looking forward to shame and pain. He's looking forward to unspeakable, out of this world glory. Secondly, Jesus prays for his disciples. The salvation plan of God requires a good start with 11 faithful, sanctified men. And Jesus spends the greatest amount of his prayer for his disciples in verses 6 through 19. The third part of Jesus' prayer in verses 20 to 23 is for the followers to come. Amazingly, Jesus doesn't think of his coming death as the end of something. He considers it to be the beginning of something, both in heaven and on earth. Easy for us to say after 2,000 years of people following Christ, but he prayed it before the fact. Jesus ends his prayer with the most all-encompassing petition of the entire prayer. John 17:24. Father, I want those you have given me to be with me where I am and to see my glory. Let's talk about it some more tonight at Home Fellowship.